Okay, so you might have watched the videos for the last couple of days of me and Dave doing our flights with his 3D printed plane, which was a little bit of a cock up. Didn't quite go to plan. Now, Dave, I did put a little bit of video in the first video I did of Dave demonstrating how the 3D printer works, but I cut it right down. So I thought, just as a bonus, I would just put on here the full, it's about 10 minutes of Dave demonstrating how a 3D printer works. It's kind of, if you're interested in that sort of thing, it just gives a full sort of breakdown of how he's doing it. So sit back and enjoy watching this. This is more technical than I normally do, and appreciate it's not farming related, but you know, how often do you see a 3D printer working? So here's Dave and the 3D printer.
So this is the 3D printer. So what it consists of is this reel of PLA material that goes down here into this extruder. Basically it's two little wheels that push the filament down this pipe, and then that goes to what's known as the hot end, which is where it gets melted. And if you look underneath, you can just see the nozzle and a little bit of filament popping out the end there, and that heats it up to about 235 degrees centigrade. To get the 3D element, this moves up and down, and then the bed slides that way, so that gives you two directions, and for the third direction there's a motor that drives this whole carriage up and down. So it will start printing onto this sheet, and it will do one single layer which is about 0.2 millimeters thick, and then it will move the carriage up another 0.2 millimeters and then do another layer on top. And all of that is controlled from this box over here, and there's a touch screen on this one, and on the side there's a memory card which you get your files from your computer, so then you can you download them and then you put them into the memory slot, and then you can send the information to the printer to print. But before you can do any printing, you've got to make sure that this bed, this heated bed, is level. So to do that you have to switch the printer on, heat up the filament, and also heat up the bed, so then if there's any distortion in the bed through the heating up process, you take that into account, and then you calibrate the height of the bed by adjusting these little knobs underneath. So I'll go ahead and do that in a minute when it's heated up. Okay, right, I've set the temperature of the extruder to 235 degrees, and I've also set the temperature of the bed to 50 degrees. So now we can go ahead and do the calibration of the bed. So we'll go back a menu and do this leveling, and then if we press one of these buttons, it will go to the four corners, whatever one you select here, and drive the and what you do is you put a piece of A4 paper on the bed. This will drive down until this switch has been activated, and then you set the bed leveling by just having enough pressure on the paper, so then you can move it up and down easily with just a tiny little bit of grip on the paper. So that one's not too bad. It's just like feeler gauges, if you're used to that. So drive to the other side. I'm not expecting this to be too far out. It's just gripping the paper there. So we'll move to the other side. That's a bit too loose there. So I need to adjust this little wheel here until it comes a bit, I'll be doing it the wrong way first, until it's a little bit tighter on the paper. So I'll go ahead and do all that and then we can start printing. Right then, so the bed is now level, so we're going to select a part of the plane to print. So I'll go to folder, and we're going to print this vertical tail. So all we do there is select it, and this G code is being generated by the computer, like I said before. So all the settings for the printer have already been decided. And if we just want to print another one out, all you've got to do is select it, and as long as the bed is flat, you press print, the printer will home itself in the 0 position, do a little piece of test flow, and then it'll start doing a perimeter wall around the outside of this particular piece. It's quite hard to get the camera in here to show everything. So this is at the moment doing what's known as a skirt, which is a perimeter around the part you actually want to keep, and it helps it stick to the bed, because especially with these parts of the planes, they can be quite tall, and they can be knocked off of the printer bed by the movement of the head, or a slight movement in the air will just send it off. So it's done the little perimeter, and it's starting to print out the actual part itself. We'll have to wait for it to move out of the way before we can see what it's actually done. And hopefully I can get it in focus. So on this particular piece, it's printing a thicker base because you want a little bit of strength at the bottom of the tail. So it's going to do 6 layers. Until it starts doing the little thin pieces for the outside edge. So I can get it down here. Well, it's quite a slow process, as you can see, so this is probably going to take probably about over an hour to print this one piece out, so I'll pop back at various stages and you can see it then. What it's doing there with those small movements is just sort of stitching across the top, closing that end off, and then the rest of it will be hollow in the middle, and it will finish that centerpiece, and then the rest of it as it builds up will just be a hollow fin all the way up. I'll go around the sides so you can see if I can get to the bottom, see how tall that is now. Come back later. Well, it's been half an hour, so let's see what's been happening. Here we go. Are you ready? And that much has been printed. That's about, well, look at my finger by it, you'll see. Not that much. It's a slow process. So we get a bit closer on that. On this piece it's printing the logo of the company that provided the files and designed the plane. We'll come back in another half an hour and see how much is done. Here we go, this is after nearly an hour. 85% done. And I want them to move out a bit now. That's the progress. Yeah, you could watch it all day, couldn't you? Well, maybe not all day. We'll pop back when it's about to finish. Here we go, back at the end. It's about an hour and a quarter, 98% done. Let's move our way over to the printer and we can see how much has been done now. That's just finishing off the top. So hopefully, not too long from now, it'll finish, and then move the tray out so you can take it off the bed. that's it, finished. What we've got to do now is see if we can pop it off the bed. You've got a little spatula. It's best if you let it cool down a little bit first, but we'll see what we can do. There we go. So you see what I mean? If you didn't have that little brim around the outside, it wouldn't stay stuck on very easily. It's a bit fussy on that. And for those who are interested, we'll just give it a quick measure so you know roughly how long this thing takes. There we go. About 5 inches and 5.5 inches in old money. And for those who are into planes, we'll give it a quick weigh. And with the little brim, yeah, 8 grams. So that's quite light, reasonably strong on these smaller pieces. And just press print and wait an hour and a quarter and you can have another one. But of course it does take quite a while to print these planes, and this is the sheet that the manufacturers provide, and this is all the pieces for the plane. I mean, this one shows the skis because it's a water ski plane, but that's a list of all the parts. That's just some of the printer settings to set up the actual printer in your slicer that makes the layers, and that's a list of all the parts to make that plane. So it does take quite a while. I said it's about 51 hours and 422 grams in total for the weight of the whole plane. And you know, this is quite a easy starter plane really. If you want to go for something a little bit more sophisticated, I've started printing another one, and you'll see this is the wing structure for that particular plane. I've started just experimenting with painting it as well, but this is substantially stronger than the plane. I mean, I've tried breaking it, and you can break it. You know, it's still easy to break, but it's a lot stronger. You see the pressure I'm putting on it there. It's a lot stronger than what the other plane is. Maybe that one will fly one day. We'll see. That's it for now. Thanks.
It's good. Tasty.
All right, Dave. Blimey! Whoa!